So recently, I received a few comments showing appreciation for me speaking about the interface between my own humanness, my own shortcomings, little troublesome twists and twirls in my humanness in relation to spiritual insights or liberation. And those comments really touch my heart, and I'd like to share why. It's easy to think that people who come across as authentic and can kind of hold their humanness or whatever to say, or don't try to pretend that they are something that they're not. It's easy to think that that's the way they've always interacted with life, that it's something that just comes natural. Well, for me, it hasn't been that way. And I'd like to share with you that story or that journey of how it became so important for me to show up as authentically as I can, especially when speaking about this topic of reality and truth and love and, well, the essence of life, the essence of life, basically. Yeah. So I started meditating about 10 years ago. And if you want to hear that story about my first silent retreat, then please do listen in. But a few years after that, I started a yoga teacher training in Samma Yoga, it's called. It's a beautiful practice that's very deeply rooted in Vedantic way of looking at the world. So the Vedantic ancient teachings, which is a non-dual understanding. And I think that's what I actually wanted to come across. And then the physical yoga or the realignment of the body was kind of something I just had to endure. Is my initial real relationship with it. But it turned out that was exactly what I needed, because Sama Yoga is such a heart opening practice. It speaks a lot about inner alignment. So, yes, the physical postures, the asanas, are important, but what's more important is when I'm standing in downward facing dog, what is my relationship to myself? What's my relationship to people around me? Am I judging them? Am I comparing myself? Am I belittling my body's capacities? Is there love in my heart? Do I follow my own guidance or am I trying to perform? So I didn't know that's the teaching I needed, but that's what the world gave me. So I did this yoga teacher training and started to teach yoga afterwards. And I absolutely love the process of being in a journey together with other people. So this yoga teacher training was 3 modules over the course of a year. And when it ended, I really longed for a community setting, to be on that inner exploration with people. So then I did a coaching training in Zen coaching, it's called Zen with a Z. And it is founded on, well, the understanding of Zen Buddhism and combines with modern psychology, basically jewels that the founder has picked up along the way. And it's about helping people coming home to themselves or guiding people with their own inner wisdom to what they're not seeing. The thing that causes friction in their lives is actually pointing them back to themselves. It's pointing them to truth, the truth of the moment and the truth of themselves, through a coaching practice, through speaking to people. So I started coaching as well. And these two, Sama Yoga and Zen coaching, they go so well together. One focuses on the body of uh, posture and the other one on the mind's relationship, but they both go in and out of each other. So I never supported myself full time as a yoga teacher or as a coach, but I was doing them both on the side. And I really enjoyed it, but also I didn't. And the thing I didn't enjoy about it was that when I held a yoga class, afterwards I was feeling a bit drained. And it could happen the same with Zen coaching. Sometimes I was a bit elevated, and sometimes it was a bit more neutral. And sometimes I had this feeling of perhaps not being valuable, especially after the yoga classes. So I'd spend 45 minutes, an hour, speaking about truth, speaking about self-love, speaking about alignment, and then coming out feeling valuable, not feeling grounded, not feeling in alignment. And it took me quite a while to try and, how do you say, unclutter this, like what it was actually about. But I think the coin really dropped. There were many drops, but one that really hit home was about, I think it was 2 years ago or something. I did a beginner's meditation class at a local yoga shala, a yoga center. And I had 2 sessions scheduled as a class. And I wanted to make sure that people who came, like it would be open to anyone who's never meditated, but that the class would still deliver to people who were quite adjusted to already meditating. So I'd done this planning. We did some just basic meditation posture, and then we did some meditation to sounds and some simple movements. And afterwards, it was only 3 participants, so it was quite a small class. But afterwards, I felt so fake. I felt completely lacking value. And I had to sit with that because I realized I cannot do this if this is how it makes me feel. Something is completely off here. And I realized what I'd done, or what snuck into these practices, was a performance. I was performing wisdom. I was telling myself that this is what's supposed to be delivered. This is what a meditation class is supposed to look like, which is the opposite of what meditation teaches, or like resting in truth. Because there we don't pick and choose. There is no thing that it needs to look like. And when I say, or when I tell myself that now I need to be a meditation teacher, I need to have my stuff together. I need to seem as though I know the answers to all the questions that might come. What I'm saying is that I am not okay as I am. My not knowing is not welcome here. So I'm basically embodying the opposite of what I talk about. I'm telling my nervous system that if awkwardness or if uncertainty arises, that is not welcome. I'm going to push that away. I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist. That's the opposite of acceptance. So while the words that come out of my mouth might sound calm, might sound like they know what they're talking about, it might sound wise, I might say all the right things, my inner posture is not coming from truth. It is coming from performance. It's coming from self-management. It's coming from performing spirituality in a way. And I don't want to come across as judging that. It was me doing my best. It is people doing their best. But the result of that is the opposite of alignment. And I think that that specific class, the beginner meditation class, this was during the first one, so I actually canceled the second one, which was a week later, because I can't show up like this. If this is the cost of teaching meditation or guiding meditation, then I don't want to be in it. It has to be aligned. And for me, I needed to sort that out. And that means coming from absolute truth. And absolute truth is being authentic. It is not about performing spirituality. It's not about performing life. It is being in it. It's exploring this thing. And that comes to all facets of life. The fact that it became so clear in teaching meditation, yeah, that's where I just noticed it. It has like zippered in through my life all around. But it becomes extra important when speaking about truth, when speaking about alignment. And learning the ancient teachings, learning the wisdom of the sages of the ages, that's the easy part I was about to say. Or at least for me, that's what I've known through the Western society. You go to school, you learn things, and then you repeat that according to a script. This is how you show up. This is how you fake it. You act life. You're an actor in life. But that isn't actually what the ancient teachings or the ancient sages, the wisdom that we've accumulated is actually saying. It is not saying perform these things. They are saying this is what you find when you go inwards. This is what you find when you let go of self-image. This is what you find when you stop thinking that you need something from the world, or rather, you think that the world has something to give you. Let go of that idea, and this is what you find. And that is not, that's a completely different journey from learning the things and showing up like that to listening to the things and actually start the exploration journey inside of you, looking at the layers, looking at the friction points you have, actually doing the internal journey, living life, being in the embodiment, learning the words and performing them. That's a pretty easy thing to do. This part of detangling, declutter, letting go, picking stuff back up, thinking that they're true, reminding yourself, no, let go, let go. No, that's a different story. That's human messiness. That is the opposite of achieving. It's the non-achieving, it's the non-performing. And what makes it even more juicy, or however, is that my nervous system and many people in today's society has been taught that the way we are successful, it's by learning how to show up and show up in that way. It's like second nature to many of us. If we go to work, we have been trained, this is how you show up in this workplace. You're supposed to give the answers, you're supposed to wear these kind of clothes, you talk about these things in the coffee break, you ask these kind of questions, you don't get insecure, you do not admit when you don't know, or whatever the rules are. Sometimes we don't even know them. They sit so just below the surface. We just act the script out. And if there's something rising in us that doesn't fit that script, we tend to suppress it and we play this role. Yeah. So then when spirituality or ancient wisdom asks us to know, we let go of all the roles, we let go of all the script, we let life guide you. Well, these conditionings, these rules that society has taught us, they're going to rebel. They're going to say, oh, no, no, do not admit that you don't know. Because that's seen as weakness, or that's seen as sloppiness, or you need to come across as competent, you need to come across as strong and independent and blah, 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 blah. And spirituality, authenticity, actually coming from truth, that asks something different of us. And when you're in the human messiness, it's not enough to let something go once. No, it's an organic thing. You let things go, then you turn around, and all of a sudden you've picked it up again. Perhaps you realize that love is not something you have to achieve. It's what you are. And then you wake up on a random Tuesday morning and you go back into trying to achieve love. You might go through like that the whole week until you realize that, oh, who turned that script on again? I've been trying to perform. And then you have to sit with that again. Yeah. Did I get a bit lost in this now? Oh, yeah. And that's, for me, what meditation and spiritual teachings is about. And if I even want to talk about these things, if I want to share either openly like this with you or just talk to friends, I cannot say to my nervous system, only part of you is welcome. The rest of you, I'm going to hide, and then I'm going to talk about showing up to life. No, that's already off. And that's kind of boring. And honestly, why even do it to begin with? It's because I still believe deep down that I need to show up in a certain way for people to want to hear me. And it's important that people hear me because that's how I gain my value. Now, that has to go as well. I have to allow people to listen or not listen and not attach it to my value, not attach it to my lovableness, not attach it even to my belonging. Actually doing the work, realizing how many layers of separation or being a separate person that's actually alive in me. And the more I notice is that this is not a one woman show. I'm not liberating myself by myself in isolation. No, I'm also liberating, like, it's a community effort. I liberate my relationships. I liberate my friends and family and you and everyone in society of the burden of having to confirm me. No, you confirm me out of love or whatever is authentic for you. Maybe I crossed the boundary, then I encourage you to draw a boundary. I don't need anyone to show up in a specific way. I want life to be there. What's actually happening in you right now? What's actually happening in my relationship? Let me live the truth. I don't want to live in fakeness. I don't want to live in performance. First of all, it's kind of easy. Second of all, it disconnects from the root of life. It disconnects from embodiment. And whenever I personally disconnect from what's true, it's almost like an inevitable side effect is that I feel like I don't deserve love. I feel like I am not valuable. It almost becomes like a void inside of me, an empty hole. I think that's what Gabor Mate means when he speaks about the hungry ghost. Whenever I feel this unlovableness, not feeling valuable because I've shown up to not being authentic with myself, pretending like these reactions are shameful, they don't belong there, even though they're the basic of humanness. They're not just specific to me. All humans have a capacity to feel jealous, to feel unlovable, to feel lonely. They're not a personal flaw, they're ingrained in humanness. Yeah, I did have a punchline there. Mm. Oh well, it might show up again. Yeah. And I think the more we speak about it, maybe this is what I wanted to come. It's a collective thing. And it's a gift to give each other our authenticity. Not pretending we have our shit together. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I just did. Not just show up when we have our shit together, but actually showing each other's. Look at this little human pile I've got going on. There's a bit of jealousy there, and there's an inadequacy, and look at this. Do you have that as well? Oh, you do. When does that pop up for you? How do you deal with it? Yeah, really. Tell me more. I don't need to teach anyone about life. I am responsible for how I show up. Not even responsible. It's like life rewards me when I show up realizing that I am the source of life. I'm the source of love. I'm the source of belonging and happiness. And so are you. And that's how we walk each other home. not by giving each other advice, not by teaching to each other, but sharing our humanness, sharing our truth. And our truth is not found in some specific scripture. No, it's found in here, in this moment, in the now, all the time. And the truth is sometimes not coming out in advanced, fancy spiritual spiritual words. It might come out as, right now I'm tired, I feel lonely, I want to cry. Isn't that interesting? Look at this. And then this old conditioning comes up saying I shouldn't feel this way. Well, that's even more juicy. How does that feel in my body? Can you receive that truth from me without taking on the responsibility to fix it for me? And if you do shrink me, if you think that, oh, she can't handle life, poor thing, I need to fix her, can I choose not to step into that dynamic? No, I will not let you see me as anything less than life. And I will not allow myself to see you as anything less than life, fully capable, embodying all of the qualities that any human has ever had. We all have them. We have the power, we have the love, we have the freedom, the softness, the passion, the sensuality, the fierceness, the curiosity. It is right here within us. And when we help each other finding our way back to that, when we awaken that in each other, we don't do that by pretending. No, we do that by honesty. Yeah. Imagine what a few comments can awaken in each other. So I don't find it so interesting anymore to speak about truth. I want to speak from truth. From human lived truth, rooted in reality, rooted in the now, including all of the facets of human wiring. For me, it's not something to transcend in the sense of rejecting it. No, it's about loving it, being in it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? What's your relationship to authenticity and your humanness? Thank you for joining me on this exploration, and I hope to see you next time.